Huglen. Please. Buongiorno, buongiorno. Allora, gli altri ci sono.
Silje, Glesnes.
Hello, nice to meet you. So, please, I would like to ask to Johan Wibe, Ambassador of the Real Embassy of Norway, to have a brief introduction, please. Microphone is off.
Hello? Yeah, that's good. Buongiorno a tutti, good morning. Very glad to be here today together with all of you at this important summit on green ports and shipping. And it's a special honor for us as Norway to be the guest country at this event. And I would like to extend a special welcome also to the Norwegian delegation present here today. Pretty large delegation, actually. And as you sure know, Norway is one of the largest shipping nations in the world, and it has a solid maritime tradition, great expertise, and strong commitment to transitioning to a low-emission society. And Norwegian companies in the maritime sector are at the forefront of this mission. They have remained determined in pursuing decarbonization goals, demonstrating their ability to make bold decisions, I would say, investing in the development of innovative and more sustainable solutions, especially within areas such as LNG, batteries, hydrogen, CCS, that we have talked a lot about today, ammonia, and autonomous ships. And the Norwegian ports, led by the Port of Bergen, that we will have the pleasure to listen here later, are striving as well to be smarter and greener while adapting to emerging technologies like offshore wind. And just let me add one point here. The pioneer experience Norwegian companies and clusters are gathering from the use of these technologies provide very important inputs to the regulatory process in Norway, in Europe, and I would say also globally. And this is fundamental for the implementation of these technologies and the decarbonization that today, I must say, is hampered by regulatory barriers. The path is very clear. We have ambitious goals set at national, European, and global levels that we must reach, while stringent regulations like the emissions trading system, the ETS, play a crucial role in promoting the green transition. We must also recognize that this shift is significantly driven by the growing expectations of investors, consumers, and local communities that we need to pay attention to. We still have a long journey ahead in decarbonizing the maritime industry, and Norway and Italy share some of the same challenges and can work together to address them. Our countries already have a long history of maritime cooperation. A notable example is the partnership between Vard and Fincantieri, two prominent players who have come together and deliver increasingly advanced technological solutions. Norwegian companies like Kongsberg Maritime and DNV, that are present here today, are also actively present in the Italian market and are strong allies of Italian companies. Still, there is considerable potential for further collaboration in the sector, not only at the business level, but also among ports, institutions, academia, and governments. And let me make a special mention also of the two Norwegian clusters present here today, one of them here at the scene, that are very important gateways, I would say, into Norwegian technology and knowledge. The maritime sector faces a significant task to transition that is too large for any one company to handle alone. And in this context, you as representatives of the whole value chain and maritime actors have the opportunity to create significant added value by collaborating when you can. I hope this event today can serve as a platform for fostering these connections and sharing best practices. And I wish also to thank so much Naples Shipping Week and also Innovation Norway for assisting and bringing us together. And I wish you all a wonderful event, and I look forward to the fruitful discussions ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Mr. Wibe. And the next speech will be done by Silje Glesnes. I hope to pronounce in the right way. And she is chief of the legal office of the Port of Bergen. And please.
Hello? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Silje Glesnes, and I'm Chief Legal Officer at the Port of Bergen. And I'm also a proud Environmental Port Index Ambassador, which we will get into a bit later. First, thank you Innovation Norway for the invitation, and thank you to Naples Shipping Week and the Ports&Shipping Tech for the opportunity. I'm going to speak a few words about the Port of Bergen sustainability journey, which over the last almost 10 years. So I'm going to try and give you a perspective from the port side and also what sustainability can look like in practice. Because we speak a lot about goals and plans and all sorts of things. I want to show you a little bit what it looks like in practice. So one of the things that sometimes we should ask ourselves more is, what does our company or industry or value chain look like in the face of disruption? And that was the Port of Bergen's reality back in 2016. Our whole reality was being disrupted. The Port of Bergen is located in the middle of the city center, much like Venice, Napoli, Genova, you know, it's very similar a lot of places. And this can be a huge advantage for operations and tourism, but it also makes you extremely visible. So there was quite the uproar from the media, the politicians, from the public about overcrowding from tourism and passengers. And also visible pollutions from the ship. So the municipality and the local politicians, they put in place very strict and severe policies, and they actually put a cap on the number of ships that we were allowed to receive every day. So maximum 3 cruise ships, and we used to have, at one point we had 9 cruise ships each day, and now we're only allowed to have 3. So we weren't really sure if there would be a future for cruising in Bergen. We are one of the biggest cruise ports in Northern Europe. But as we all know, innovation is probably the only way out of a crisis, and that's what we did, we innovated. And ports have always been the showcase for industrial revolution, the arrival of steam, propellers, metal hulls. And now we're on a mission to showcase cleaner energy sources and some of the most advanced energy-related technology. We knew we had to be a front runner, and we knew we had to own the innovation journey. So there are 3 main initiatives. Number 1 is shore power. Number 2 is the Environmental Port Index. And number 3 are port requirements and regulations. And these are basically the 3 main initiatives that changed our journey. So firstly, I just want to briefly touch upon the power of collaboration and community. The port is not an energy company, we're not a tech company, so we knew we had to partner with someone who was. So we established a joint venture with a local energy company, and we established a joint company called Plug. And today we have over 20 shore power connections, and we have the largest shore power facility for cruise in Europe, probably the world, we don't know. We have 3 connections of 48 megawatts, which is massive. So we can connect 3 cruise ships simultaneously. But having the infrastructure in place is really just the first step. Then you need to get the shipping lines and the cruise line to actually use the infrastructure. So we had to reorganize our logistics, and we knew we had, as a port, we had to become more digital and data-driven, which historically ports have not been. So secondly, we established the Environmental Port Index, and I'm sure a lot of the people here today, they've heard about the Environmental Ship Index, the ESI. So the EPI is a more advanced reporting system. We knew we needed better technical solutions for monitoring NOx, SOx, CO2, the use of onshore power supplies, waste gas treatment systems, consumption and fuels, and all of this needed to be organized in line with the EU polluters pay principle. And it really has been a success. We've actually reduced CO2 and harmful substances by 14% per cruise call. We've reduced the age of the ship from 18 to 13 years. And a lot of ships, including some that I've seen here today, both MSC and AIDA, a lot of them have installed shore power. And we can even actually use AI to calculate future emissions for specific ships. So, I mean, the possibilities are just endless. We are 37 member ports, and we're a global initiative in the world. And then thirdly, the port sets requirement, and this bit is very important. The Port of Bergen, where our aim is to be emissions-free by 2030, which means that we have to be very tough in our business conditions, in the requirements, in our booking criteria. So by 2026, all cruise ships in Bergen will be emissions-free. And I'm very pleased to say that April this year, 65% of all cruise ships, connected to our shore power plant in Bergen. And the interesting part is that a lot of the same cruise ships, they sail all over Europe. But the issue is that the ports don't have the infrastructure. So I've seen ships here today that have the technology, they retrofitted their ships, it's possible, but the infrastructure isn't in place. So that's a huge issue. So summarized, shore power, one solution. It's not going to work everywhere, but it's one solution. The EPI, and then port requirements. I do really believe that regional, state, local politicians and ports, they need to be brave when they set their requirements, because I have massive faith in the industry. If we set the requirements, the industry will come with the solutions. And there's, like we've seen here today, there are many partners that really are strong in pushing forward the solutions. EPI, we partner with DNV, so it's DNV certified. You know, there are just a lot of great partners out there that we can all collaborate with. So I do think there is a huge, it's very good for Norwegian and Italian companies in port to collaborate. So I think I'm going to stop there.
Thank you so much, Ms. Glesnes, for your interesting presentation. We strongly believe in the binomial ship-port. So to do efficiency, it's very important to have a cost-effective and a sustainable port. So I would like to ask the video linked to the speech of Ms. Glesnes, please. And then,
shipping is one of the most sustainable forms of transport for both passengers and cargo, but our industry still has the potential to become even greener. With the Environmental Port Index, port operators and ship owners can position themselves as industry leaders in the fight against the climate crisis, while enjoying all the operational and financial benefits of enhanced efficiency and sustainability. Global shipping emitted over 1 billion tons of CO2 in 2018. While most emissions happen in transit, making it hard to see, pollution during port visits has a direct impact on our local communities and wildlife. But together, with the EPI, we can make our industry greener and fairer for all. The EPI is a sophisticated reporting tool that allows port operators and ship owners to monitor their operational efficiency and sustainability. It does this by collecting more than 20 key measurements, including CO2, SO2, PM, and NOx emissions while at quay. This complex data is used to calculate an easy-to-understand EPI score, supported by clear and insightful reporting, which can help ports and ship owners to plan, implement, and monitor sustainable operating strategies. This not only has the potential to deliver environmental benefits, but economic ones too. Ship owners who are working to improve their consumption of fuel and other resources can review their progress ship by ship or across their entire fleet, helping to increase profitability as well as sustainability. The EPI also empowers port operators to promote a better quality of life and greener economy in their local communities, as well as to act as proactive partners to the ship owners who visit them. As more ports around the world continue to join the EPI, we can use our shared knowledge and resources to overcome even the most complex sustainability challenges. Now is the perfect time for your port to join our growing international network as we chart a course towards a brighter future for our industry, society, and planet. The Environmental Port Index. Greener ports for a cleaner world. Visit epiport.org to find out more and get in touch today.
So thank you so much. And let's introduce the next speaker. He's Øystein Huglen.
Yes.
Hopefully I pronounced it well. And he's head of the innovation and technology of the Maritime CleanTech cluster. So please, we have a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here and to present to you the journey of the green transition in Norway in terms of how we see it from the clusters in Norway. And also to give a statement of where we are today. We think we have reached far. It's quite an optimistic view. And also to reach out for collaboration, of course, because we think that there's a lot of areas where we can collaborate in this area. So just a few words about the Norwegian background. As you know, Norway is a large country, but with a small population. We have less people than Italy has only on the islands. So it's not about the big force in terms of population, but it's also still, Norway is still a superpower when it comes to shipping. We are the 6th biggest in terms of number of ships and 4th in terms of value of ships. And in this context, of course, innovation and being in the forefront from technological-wise has always been a competitive advantage. So today we see that the maritime industry in Norway, they see the green transition as a big challenge, but also as a great opportunity to excel the position of Norway in the future. And in Norway, the clusters have always been very important. This is a cultural aspect, but it's also because we think that collaboration is really the strong force to realize the new things. And when we come to the green transition, collaboration we see as even more important. There are so many new challenges we need to face, and we need to do that together. So I think, seen from Italy, you may think that Norway is of course one big cluster, but it's also divided into several organizations. And I represent one of these organizations, Maritime CleanTech, and we are solely focused on the green transition of the maritime industries. And this, the task of green transition is really a challenging one. It requires efforts from a lot of stakeholders in the whole industry. And we represent this whole value chain with members, as you saw on the last slide, with members from all of these sectors, and not only the maritime, but also the ports, the authorities, and the energy companies, which are crucial to deliver what we need for the future. You may have known that in Norway we have managed to get the ferry industry into fully electric operation as a standard solution. This started 10 years ago with this vessel, and today we have more than 90 vessels operating fully electric in Norway. And these solutions are now ready to scale up also internationally, to reach out to any countries that would like to do the same. And what we do, and one of the parts of this model we apply in Norway, is that we take step by step. Some of the tasks are easy, some of them are more advanced and challenging. And the ferries were relatively easy from a technology point of view, but also from a policy point of view, because these ferries are bounded in certain operations, so that it's not difficult to find solutions that can not be tailor-made. When it comes to the further development, it's becoming more challenging, but we, as an example, for fully electric fast ferries, we have also now come to a stage where this is also commercially available. It is really important when we go through these phases that incentives and policies are supporting the development. And you can look at the clusters and Maritime CleanTech as a public-private tool to drive innovation, both in terms of technology, but also in terms of policy innovation and the way we structure the society to enable these new ways of operating our societies. And in this context, many companies and many stakeholders are involved, and by delivering pilot projects and developments, we bring all these stakeholders into a new opportunity in the market. So many of these companies are actually here this week. You can meet them, and they are also now ready to offer their solutions in the market, also internationally. And it's not only about electrification, although that is maybe one of the more mature ones. We are very proud to show this picture because this is the world's first vessel moving with liquefied hydrogen. It has already been operating in Norwegian fjords for more than 1.5 years, successfully, with no issues. That means that not only is it possibly to do this technically, but it's also approved by communities. It's very welcomed by the crew on board. Authorities have been strongly involved. This has been a strong collaboration between the industry, the policymakers in Norway, the flag state, and also the class society, DNV, to make this possible and to actually operate successfully for more than a year now. And it's not only the fuels, it's not only battery electric or hydrogen or ammonia, which we have also tested, but it's also very much the other parts that we need to move. This is a complex picture. We are moving into retrofit of existing vessel. That's a big challenge. The capacity in the yards, the energy efficiency aspects, and also digitalization. There are many parts that needs to be moved together, and that is what we aim to do. And mentioning another example of how we work, from the cluster's point of view, and which is very much my role, is to determine what should be the next challenge to pursue. So then we definitely need to look at what is the next technology challenge that needs to be solved. you see in these circles on this slide, we find opportunities in technology, we combine that with the right partners, and then we apply sufficient funding schemes so that the incentives are high enough for this to happen. This example is when we see that we need to extend range for fully electric operation, and we see that we can actually now do that also offshore Norway in harsh environments. And this is a strong collaboration between our cluster and the Vard yard group, which is then owned by Fincantieri. So this is actually in close collaboration also with Italy. And you see also a lot of other stakeholders and partners in this, including Plug, which is part of the Bergen Haven initiatives. And actually in 4 years, we have moved this idea from being just a thought to now being offered in the market, and there is a significant request from offshore wind industries to get this solution running. So that is the recipe of how we do the technology developments. And I mentioned that the Norwegian industry is really eager to work with the green transition. And the IMO curve for the ambition for 2050 is to a large extent the explanation to this. Because if you want to be in the forefront of technology development, you need to have these things tested before 2030 in order to be able to scale up to the markets for the next decade. So we are already deep into the phase where we not only talk about green transition, we deliver on green transition in this respect. And we invite you and anyone else to collaborate with us on this. And also mentioned by our colleagues here, Norway have big ambitions when it comes to maritime development. We want to remain a maritime superpower, and we want to do that in collaboration with the rest of the world. We want to influence policies, and we want to deliver solutions to the world. And that is very much now the role that we have. That's why I'm here. Maritime CleanTech is representing the Norwegian industry in terms of getting these solutions broadly accepted in the wider society. And one of the major tasks is to use the EU system. These are examples of projects we run, and where there is big opportunities to collaborate also even more with Italian companies. All of these projects have an EU-wide partnership where we successfully deliver on all of these technologies together. And also EU is then, we are also influencing EU to drive further schemes for the future, addressing the more challenges as they develop. So in summary, I hope this has been an inspiration to see how we together can collaborate and make the future greener in terms of the maritime industries. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your interesting speech, Mr. Huglen. Do you have some question? No? So thank you so much. We have to change the panel now, so please.